Hey, everybody. I was going to say good morning, but it can be any time of the day. I always forget that we have people from different time zones. I'm here in the US. I want to welcome you to Udemy Q&A with myself, Dennis Smith, and fellow instructor and friend Matt Bernstein, who is in Boston. I'm here in the Boise, Idaho area. I've just come back from a trip to Seattle and Bend, Oregon. I'm refreshed. I'm ready to, I put on my Facebook page, I'm ready for Rocktober. I'm ready to rock it this month and get some stuff done, some goals that I have, getting some more Udemy courses done, getting some books done, doing more Blabs, doing all of these different things that I've been doing to help others out. And this is just one of the things that Matt and I do here on Blab. We like this format. We like talking to other instructors, and we like talking to what I call newbies. So I will let Matt tell you a little bit about himself first, and then I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then we'll get started.
I'm Matt Bernstein from Boston, Massachusetts. It's 12:06 here, so it's no longer morning. So thank you. Good morning to you, Dennis. I see that you're drinking coffee. Mm-hmm. Very nice. I feel like there are a lot of familiar faces here, so I'll just keep it short. I am an instructor of 47,000 students on Udemy, teaching people how to make money online, and here to answer any questions that you might have for Dennis and I. Scott?
Let me introduce myself, and we'll be happy to answer that question for you while you're working. It's probably noon where he's at, too, I think, in Toronto. But my name is Dennis Smith, and my Udemy town is smaller than Matt's. I have about 13,000 residents that are in my Udemy town. And I've been on Udemy since July of 2014, so just over 15 months. I just released my 6th course on how to promote yourself to the world using webinars and using some of the tools that I've used before. So I'm really happy that I've got that course out, and I'm already working on my 7th course because I want to get these ready for Black Friday. Last year at Black Friday, I only had 2 courses out, and I think I did $200 to $300 in income at the time because I was still new on the platform. And since then, I've gone on to have my best month, which was $1,200, but has kind of gone down since then. And I like being able to talk to somebody like Matt and other instructors because we talk about things like what might be causing this so that we can look at trying new things such as, dollar course promotions and that to see what might work. But I want to thank you for showing up today and thank you for taking time out of your day. We're going to do questions and answer format, and we're going to start off with Scott, who said he would love to hear our thoughts on setting up a website for our courses. I need a course home outside of my Udemy profile, which I kind of think leads into something that he's doing, which I'm more than happy to chat about. But let's go with Matt first and have Matt let us know his thoughts on that.
Well, before I answer some of those, I have a couple questions for you, Scott. Do you want to host your courses on this website, or are you an affiliate for Udemy? All right, you're not an affiliate, I guess, because you said your own courses. But do you want to host your courses on this website or no? Or you want to lead people to your courses on Udemy?
So he was just thinking of leading people to his Udemy.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Yeah, that's a better idea than hosting your own courses, because I would say that your courses would have to be unique on your own website for it to work. And you have to be willing to make sales for $10 or $15 for Udemy just to work with the Udemy platform. Let's see. Scott's question. Let me know, I don't. Do you want to use WordPress? Your questions. Let's see.
I think what he's asking is like maybe some other sites like that create or that have landing pages, and One of them is like some of the stuff that I've done, like the Course Factory or even online course coupons. And Scott and Sean are doing a website, Course Crushers, right? And yeah, I think that it's a great idea to have your course in other places off of Udemy because of the search engine optimization and exposure. Because Udemy has what, Matt, like 8 million students. So, I mean, there's such a huge potential that these people who are looking for these courses might be doing a search on Google for a specific topic, and it might not even bring up Udemy. Now, hopefully it should as they grow, because, you know, like Wikipedia, anytime somebody does a search, the first result is going to be Wikipedia or YouTube. So I kind of think that that's where he's going with that. And I definitely think that even your own personal website, like Matt has a website. And what did you change the name to?
I'm in the midst of changing it to Skillhance, and I'm trying to come up with the business model that works for Udemy.
Yeah. Okay. So you have skillhance.com.
Yeah. Cause I mean, I'm working on it right now because obviously you want a lead generation to get people on your email list, but then my lead generation is just a course on Udemy. So then if you're already, if you sign up to become a student in my Udemy course, you're going to get my educational and promotional emails, and it kind of gets in the way of your own email lists. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's how can your email list and then the emails that you're sending on Udemy work together? And I'm having trouble answering that question myself. So the only thing that I've really set up is I post, because on my YouTube channel is actually great at getting me leads. So I would post a link to my website, because that's you're only really allowed to do that with the Udemy card. So I'll have a pop-up in my video saying, here, sign up for this free course by giving me your email. So it'll redirect them to my blog, and then I'll have a lead page for that. And then I give them the free course, and they're on my email list. But I don't do much more, because the content that they're getting from educational announcement and promotional announcement is doing the work for me. I don't need to necessarily also have a broadcast email list or anything like, or a follow-up email list. So I don't necessarily have a blog for my Udemy courses yet, because when I listed my courses for $10 on the website, I wasn't necessarily getting any sales from that. And I thought I'd better use my time elsewhere, because I didn't know how my blog could work.
Hey, Matt, before we go any further, what I wanted to do is I just want to do some reminders here, because with the questions, I just want to let everybody know that the format on Blab, if you're new to Blab, use a /Q for a question, and then put a space after that, and then type your question. And what it does is it flags it with the word question, so that Matt and I can see that. We can also filter out for questions, so that we can make sure that we're answering those questions that you have today. And the other thing is if you don't, if this is your first time, a couple of things up above right there are the people who are live with us on the Blab. Connect with those individuals, follow them on Blab, including Matt and myself, so that you're aware of future Blabs, because Matt and I have been doing this a lot on Thursday too. We have a chat in the afternoon, and we bring along a couple of our favorite beverages, which is microbrews, and you're welcome to join us too. But that's a way for us to notify you that we're here on Blab and we're talking about things like Udemy. The other thing is over here off to the left, that Tell a Little Bird is a button. If you click that, I would love it if everybody would go over there right now and click on that and post a tweet and let people know that we're broadcasting live right now, and they'll see that we're talking about Udemy questions and answers. So if there are other Udemy instructors or wanting to know about Udemy, they can find out. And then over here again is the chat there. You're more than welcome to ask questions. It's just Matt and I at the moment, so it might take us a while to get to those questions. And I'll go over there right now. I saw one that wasn't flagged as a question, so I'm going to scroll back here to see if I can find that. So that was after Scott's. Maybe, let's see, Jeremy Jeremy had a question, and then we'll go on to that other one. When creating courses for Black Friday, do you spend more time with quality or quantity? And I had responded that quality always. I'm not somebody about quantity. I want to make sure that I put out quality stuff because I don't want negative reviews to start off with and all of that. Other people don't care about that. They get the courses out and then they can come back quick enough and fix that kind of stuff. It just depends. Everybody has their different style. What about you, Matt? What are your thoughts on that?
I was literally answering questions on here and eating.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, what was the question?
So on Black Friday, and anytime in general, when you're creating a course, are you about quantity of courses that you're putting out or the quality of the courses? Uh-oh, you went. Your mic. What happened?
Muted myself by accident. So initially, in my Udemy plan, I went with quantity, and I felt that I got to a point where, yeah, I feel like I'm not making as much money as I am from my Udemy courses. So now I'm going with quality and updating the information, making it relevant, adding in more information as much as I've grown, because I mean, almost 2 years has gone by, and obviously you grow as a person substantially and you learn new experiences, and I want that to reflect in my courses. So I've kind of taken the Udemy standpoint they went with quantity of courses first, and now you can see they're doing quality now. So so I'm kind of just following their business model, what they've done up to this point. So if you only have I would have a minimum of probably 6 courses out there that you could do, so you can do as much cross promotion as you can. If you obviously have quality courses, I'm not saying that my quantity of courses, I focused on great information and I slacked on the production value. So Udemy wanted at least 65% video. I gave them 65% video and then only at 35% audio. Those are the kind of things that I scathed by in my production value. I had good audio quality and not so great visual quality. And those are the things now that I'm doing better, is I'm making better quality videos now with the visuals. So have at least 6 courses that you can cross promote and sell to your students, and not so much rely on Udemy while you're.
Yeah. So Jeremy's testing me with these questions here. He's asking if I believe that one big quality course would be better than 2 to 4 mediocre courses. Well, I'm not so sure. I mean, mediocre is probably, that's like half bad or whatever. So 2 to 4 might bring you in more revenue than one good quality course. It's really up to, I think, what you're comfortable with releasing as an instructor. If you're comfortable with releasing 2 to 4 mediocre courses, then, go for it. But, watch those reviews and watch the feedback and make sure that you're fine tuning it to improve the quality. I know that I'm guilty of not going back. It's been a year on a lot of those courses that I've released, and I haven't gone back yet to update some of them. I have pulled information that might be outdated, but Matt went back and redid a lot of his courses and, added some new stuff. Like I think he did the talking heads and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's just really what you're comfortable with doing. And I need to do that. I mean, I'll probably do that once we get into December, get a couple of more courses out. And then in the middle of winter, when I'm snowed in here in Idaho, go back through and start going back and cleaning up some of those courses. I mean, I think you kind of said what you thought on that kind of stuff. And we've got somebody asking, how do I compete against Udemy courses like mine that are free? I just kind of, as you were talking, Matt, I replied with that, offer something different than what those other courses are maybe offering, the ones that aren't free. I have courses that, that are MailChimp and WordPress, and we all know that there's a lot of WordPress courses on Udemy, and Matt even has a WordPress course or two. but mine is a little bit different than his and the others because I talk about tools that you can use for Udemy marketing, and he talks about actually the steps of setting up WordPress to get a website started, and others might talk about coding in WordPress or plugins. So I wouldn't worry about that stuff. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, going back to Jeremy's question for the people who were there, who weren't there, if you ultimately want to do your best to try and get Udemy behind you and Udemy making all your sales, that can be much more powerful than doing your own promotions. So I would go with the one course that adds the most value. But if you want to rely more on yourself and you don't think and you don't want to rely on the chance that Udemy might back up your course and sell $30,000 worth of your course per month, then I would go with the making the one big course into 4 littler ones, which is what Jeremy wants to do. So it depends on what you want to rely on, yourself, or do you want to give Udemy a chance? And then to answer the question of how do you compete with courses that are for free, I mean, I would just make your course different and add more value and have that presented through social proof, having more students in your course than the free one and having more reviews in there, because just because it's free doesn't necessarily mean they're offering you valuable advice. It might just be free. I mean, for number one, the most likely the reason why it's free is because they want a lead generation. So you charging the information, you actually want to add more value to the student's life, and the only thing that you want back is their money for the course. So that might just be $10. I know Wistia has a great free course on Udemy about how to do a talking head video, and it's great content. The only reason why it's free because they want you to buy into their other services, which is video hosting. They want you to host your videos on their website so you can get more leads outside of Udemy. So add more value, get more reviews, and just have
Yes, and I forgot to take myself off of mute. So hey, I want to do. Thanks, Matt, for letting us know like what your thoughts are, because we all have different beliefs on that kind of stuff, and so I think it helps out. And what I would like to do here in just a moment is I'd like to open it up. What we call the hot seat, a lot of people call it the hot seat, is allowing you to join us on camera and ask your question. But first, I want to just do some reminders. Thanks again for taking time out of your day and joining Matt and I for this question and answer session on Udemy. And I just want to remind you that up above, those are the people who are here live, including myself and Matt. And we would love it if you follow us on Twitter and on Blab so that we can let you know when we do more of these. And then also off to the left-hand side, excuse me, that button there that's blue, kind of like my shirt, click on that and you can post to Twitter and tell people that we're doing this question and answer session on Udemy. And it'll just let them know that we're live right now. I use the hashtag live sometimes, pound live, just to let people know that it's going on right now. And then I want to remind you when you have a question that you want to do /Q, a space, and then your question, so it flags it so that we know that it's a question. Otherwise, we might miss it, and I don't want to do that. And I've got that hot seat open up right now. So if you want to join us, you can do that, and you can join us on camera and ask your question and get your question answered. Now, if we're asking or answering a question while I bring you on board, just be patient. We'll bring you into the discussion. But a lot of times what happens is that I want to let people come on camera and we're in the middle of answering questions. So sometimes they have to wait. So let's see. Why don't you pick a question there, Matt, and you go first, and then I will let people know my thoughts on that.
Somebody asked if you can price your own Udemy courses, and you can. but now for my courses, Udemy is pricing them themselves. So I don't have that much control over pricing anymore. They're testing out, I thought, 3% of the Udemy courses. So at the moment, whatever prices I make, Udemy will adjust that. So I made all my courses like $199, and now Udemy changed it to $70. So they're seeing if it's going to result in any organic sales. For me, it has not. I've made one organic sale since the change about 2 weeks ago.
I think that from what I've heard, though, with the price testing, is that it's different if somebody's logged on versus not logged on. So if it's somebody new coming to the website, I think that they're seeing those lower prices. And then if they're logged in, that they see your price, or maybe I've got that mixed up. Scott's saying that the price testing has been good. He's making sales every day at different prices. God, like I always forget greater than, less than. I think that's like less than 20, right? Greater than. You see how old I'm getting? But so thanks, Scott. So he's seeing some results with that. I've looked at, haven't looked at mine because I've been traveling. So I kind of look off and on, but yeah, so I think that it's versus logged in and logged off on that kind of stuff. So $70, right, is what you're saying? You're muted.
For me, it's $70 because I priced mine originally at $199.
That's a weird price.
And I know that Scott has some of his courses at like $39 as the last time that I looked. I have some. Yeah, it is different for a lot of people. And plus, I'm about to type to you, Scott. I think I've been selling too many courses at $1. So that's probably something very different from what you're doing. And it might be affecting those full price sales that you're getting.
It's weird seeing Scott type stuff and not actually hearing his voice. It would be cool if he wasn't at work and could actually join us, because he's got a lot of great information. I like listening to him. So what 197.
What would be a time that you would be able to join us?
Android app. See, I want to do like a Blab called Udemy After Dark, but for me, I mean, you guys are in the same time zone. I'm not. And then even if we did Udemy After Dark, for some people in the world, it's not nighttime. So
also it would be PG rated, Dennis, I hope.
Yeah, it's not like that. What are the hot subjects Udemy students? That's a good question. I've got, I just posted something called Udemy Resources, and there's a link to a document that I created with, towards the bottom of that document, links to a lot of things, including instructor revenue share, and also the hot topics that Udemy just recently updated to give you a list of what people are looking for. It was kind of interesting because the last time they released that, you looked at that, right, Matt?
Yeah. It has some of my courses already on it, so it has eBay and Amazon and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Because my sales in the eBay and Amazon have kind of plateaued, so I would think that it's probably not a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're getting that like data, the demand for that. I think that people are a lot of those courses because it's one of those things where you can do something and get money, and we live the lifestyle, what I call, like for myself, the digital nomad lifestyle, where we work from home, you work from your laptop. And I think more and more people are shifting to that lifestyle. So they're wanting to learn things like eBay, the courses that you teach, and the Amazon, these other ways that they can start making passive income. And so maybe that's why those courses are gaining in popularity. The economy, I mean, in our country seems to be going well, but a lot of people are getting tired of the corporate lifestyle. And for me, I've always said that there's no security in any job anymore, including what we do, because we never know, like with Udemy, like how long things are going to last, or the shift, or another competitor. it's hard to tell. So you kind of have to think ahead at what's going to be kind of the end thing. Are you on mute?
I'm not anymore. Well, I just, and when you're talking, I just mute myself so I don't make any noise like typing, answering questions.
I know. I appreciate that. And I've done the same thing. And then it's like trying to take yourself off of mute really quick. I could probably do that on the mic. And you can do that on the screen here too. Hey, and by the way, thanks for the props. Give Matt some props. And those are just to say that you appreciate what we're talking about today. So it's kind of like I say, a high five. And again, that seat is open. If you want to come on live camera here and be part of this Blab and show yourself to the world, you can certainly do that. I know that some people kind of have a fear sometimes of doing that stuff. I know that when I first did public speaking, I was always nervous when I stood up in front of a crowd. The largest crowd that I've ever spoke to was about 70 or 80, but I mean, if it were larger than that, I probably would fall over and faint or something like that. But let's go back over here. Let's see. So can you choose a price point? Did you answer that one?
Yeah. That was why we were talking about how Udemy was pricing my courses now.
Yeah, and Scott asked, would you rather make $10 per month from 500 courses or $5,000 per month from one course? I would want to make $10 per month from 500. Oh no, 500 courses? No, did you word that backward? I was thinking.
I'd rather make $5,000 from one course.
Yeah, I read that wrong because I was thinking,
or honestly, I would rather make $10 each for 500 courses, but that would take a lot of work to make 500 courses.
Yeah, I know. I didn't see that. What I was thinking, like having 500 people pay you $10 for a course or something like that. And I thought that that's what he meant at first. And I was going to say yes, if it were worded that way, because then I have more students to market to instead of just that one that I earned the 5,000 from. I now have 500 students that paid me 500 students who paid me $10. And now I can market to those 500 students, which I'm actually doing right now. I have a new course out on webinars, and I just put out a promotional message to my 13,000 Udemy Town residents and have seen some good results from that. So that's why you want to create new courses, is because every time you release a new course, you have the potential to market to those students. And Matt has even more potential because he's got over 50,000 students and continues. I mean, how many did you say you added last month?
I had over 7,500 free redemptions last month.
Yeah. And I had like 3,000 something. And this month already, you know, the course that I just released, and we have this conversation all the time about free coupons. So I released that last night because, you know, I just got back yesterday afternoon from my trip. And so I started working on all of this stuff, including Matt, like sending me a message saying, hey, you want to do a Blab tonight? And I was like, I kind of said, sure, you know, seeing what he would come back with. And so we did this today. So I've been on the road, and what was I going to? Oh, so I've been catching up with all this stuff, and I did this promotion last night before I went to bed. I was up until 1 or 2. And while I slept overnight, I had all of these new enrollments in the course, both free and paid, because I'm doing it on different channels and stuff like that and testing some things out. And it's worked really well. I think I'm approaching 1,000 students in the course already between free and the promo pricing. And by the way, that document, or the document that I put out, has some special offers in it. And hopefully Matt will offer you some offers for his courses while we're talking today. But my new course, the webinar course, if you're on this Blab today, I'll put out a coupon code in just a few, and you can take that new webinar course for free if you'd like. So what next for questions here? Let's make sure that I haven't missed anything. That's why I wish they had that little checkoff thing. You know what I try to do, Matt? I try to star next to a question just to like let me know that it's been answered. Just so you know.
Okay.
You want to pick a question and go for it and start, and then again reminding people that they can join us right in the hot seat.
Do you want to answer the question? I'm getting some feedback, Dennis.
From me?
Yeah. I can hear my voice. Yeah.
I don't know. Anybody else getting some feedback from me when I talk?
No. From when I talk, I could hear my voice. I'm good now.
Yeah, it does that every now and then. I think that's Blab.
Okay. Let's see. Just quickly. Actually, I would rather make $10 per course if I had 500 courses, and I think the support would be the same because you're enrolling this same amount of students, I assume, and there's less. You're not relying on one course. I'm relying on 500. So if I stop making sales for 50 of them, then I've only lost $500 instead of. So you're just relying less. So anyways, let's see. View for co-creating on Udemy instructors. I have done this with one of my friends. This might have been the issue because he was my friend. He had really good content. He just like wanted too much from me. So I would have just rather gone for it alone. You kind of like butt heads, and it depends on who. It really depends on who your co-instructor is. I've also tried this with another person who I met on Udemy, and she just relied on me too much to do like technical questions, and she only really signed me on to promote the course, and she wanted me to promote the course more than my own. So I feel like her expectations for what I signed on, I only was getting like 10% too, and she wanted me to put in a lot of work. Like I had to. Even she wanted me to like edit the courses, answer all of her questions on like simple technical questions. And I didn't really sign on for that. I just signed on for 10%. I would help her get money from her 10,000 person email list. I would promote her courses the way that I knew how. And it was mostly for promotion. And I just wasn't managing her expectations of what this partnership was. So my two experiences weren't necessarily good. Would I do it again? Probably not.
So I think I remember that was your friend. Can I mention names? Ryan in San Diego?
Yeah, I mean, he's not really a part of the Udemy community. He just made courses and wants the passive income. So, I mean, he saw like the Udemy studio as a waste of time and most likely everything else. And he works for IBM. He gets paid $85,000 a year. So he just wanted to teach people how to do it and have me promote it for him.
Do you still have that? Like, are you still co-instructor on that course, or did you drop off the course?
No, I just dropped off because I just wanted to end the partnership. So I just figured that was the best way.
Yeah, I think Scott was
friends. There's no hard feelings.
Yeah. You have to find the perfect fit, I think, because one of the things that I see with some of these courses that are co-instructor, it's not really a true co-instructor relationship. And I think it violates Udemy's policy on that. There is a policy, and again, it's in the document that I created that has a link to how that can be done. I'll post that again for you so that you can see that link to read up on that. And by the way, I posted the coupon for that course. So if you want to take my new course for free, you can certainly do that. But this document right here has Udemy resources, and those resources include talking about what you can and cannot do as a co-instructor. What I think as a true co-instructor would be you go back and forth with the different lectures and your area of expertise within that topic, that you talk about it. Instead, it's like the instructor comes on and says, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I'm the instructor with this instructor here. And that might be the last time that you hear from that person the entire course. And it's like, that's not a co-instructor. That's just trying to use Udemy's system to promote your courses and things like that. What was on your shirt, Jeremy?
I was talking about all of us wearing green shirts. Can you hear me?
I got a blue shirt on. Should I switch?
Oh, it looks greenish. It can be green.
It's yeah. If it's green to you, you've got something that you need to check.
God asked, what's the best Ninja Turtle? I'm wearing Raphael today because I'm kicking butt.
Oh, Ninja Turtles, cool. How's it going?
Oh, going good. I got a little bit of time for the mastermind meeting. I figured I'd hop on and talk to y'all.
Yeah. So what's your mastermind group?
It's when I started in like March. I was just looking for like-minded people. This is before I found Udemy. I just wanted, you know, I'm new to the online business world. I started in January doing any of this stuff. So
yeah.
I decided I wanted to find like-minded people. I went into some different groups like Smart Passive Income, 30 Days of Hustle, and just talked to people and got a group of people started. It's changed a little bit. It's evolving. Sometimes we're real organized and we do hot seats. Sometimes we just leave it open for discussion. People just like talk about their weeks and stuff. So it's great, man. Anyone who doesn't have a mastermind, I strongly encourage it. I would like to have a second one. I was thinking about you mentioned one time doing a Udemy mastermind.
I'm still working on that. I'm working on my procrastination mastermind
I'll
group.
be part of it because I thought about doing that myself in the past.
Okay, well, we'll talk. We've talked that we want to talk on Skype about some affiliate marketing stuff. So when we talk about that, we can talk about Mastermind. And speaking of the Side Hustle Nation group on Facebook, which, by the way, if you're someone who likes to do passive income, the term side hustle, and Matt, you had a website that had what was that, like?
Low cost hustle.
Low cost hustle. So Side Hustle Nation is Nick Loper, and I actually met somebody from that group for dinner on Friday night in Bend, Oregon. His name is Andy McCabe, and he does stuff out there. And Matt, I talked to you about him, what he was doing. I can't think today. Sorry. It's Monday and I've been traveling, so that's my excuse. But anyway, it was kind of cool to meet somebody that was doing this side hustle stuff. And Barb is also here with us, and she lives in the Bend, Oregon area. And I joined her for dinner on Saturday night with her son and got to talk with her. And she watches us. She's watching us right now. So somebody that I've met in person is here watching this Blab. So that's just kind of cool, you know. But the mastermind stuff, yes.
Yeah, I actually found out about Udemy from the Side Hustle Nation podcast.
Where did Matt go?
Looks like we lost him.
Well, we'll wait for him to come back, but go ahead and.
Yeah, I was listening to Scott Britton on the Side Hustle Nation podcast talking about making money on Udemy, and that's where I first heard about it and decided to try it. So that group is awesome. That's a really good group to join.
Hold on just a second. I'm sorry. Phil Ebner just messaged me on Facebook, and I was asking him if he would like to join us today. And I like having him on with us because he's made a lot of money. Hi there.
I have my screen just kind of closed down over there.
I was like, did he leave because Jeremy and I were talking for too long?
My screen just kind of closed down on me.
Matt, I got a question for you, man.
Yeah.
When are you gonna start growing the beard, man? Come on, it's winter time. So
I can't, man. I can't grow a beard. I can't do it. It just won't allow. I can only grow stomach hair.
Oh my God! Too much information. Oh, you know that's Scott said TMI, and this is totally on record now. So for the rest of your life, people are going to hear that reply. And Scott said more coffee.
That's Branding. He'll be the stomach hair guy.
Yeah. Oh. Jeez. Okay, I'm going back to bed.
What happened when I dropped out? Anything?
No, we were just. I mean, I was finishing up on my thought, just how cool it is that he was talking about mastermind groups, and the guy that I met in Bend has an in-person mastermind group of 5 individuals that he started, and I still want to start the Udemy mastermind group, and I've been thinking about that because a true mastermind group is actually the way that it's ran is usually there's some kind of a fee involved with it. And that's because it's to get people to be serious about showing up all the time. If something like this, it's great that we get people to show up and join us and all of that. It's a free platform for us to share our ideas. But with masterminds, like the structure of it, it goes way back to a book that I started reading, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. And I have that in my bag on paperback, and I started reading it on digital. But you encourage other people. And Matt and I kind of do that with our goals that we had been doing, but we kind of moved away from that again, is setting these goals and challenges to get people to do things. Otherwise, like for myself, sometimes I'm all by myself working at home, and I'm here in Idaho. So it's not like Seattle or a large city where you can actually meet people in person. So that's what I find cool about mastermind groups, is that you can encourage other people in the group to get it done.
Dennis, on that note, can I mention Florida meetup?
Yes, go for it. Put it in. Do you have like a website or just?
No, I haven't done any of that yet. I mentioned it in the studio. If anyone's interested in the Florida area, I would love to do a meetup, because I just think meeting in person, getting together, sharing ideas is invaluable also. So if anyone's in the Florida area, just go find me on Facebook, look up my name, or Twitter, and message me and let me know you're interested, because I'm trying to find at least a group. I don't want to do it if only like 2 people show up, because I'm trying to do like a central location like Orlando or something. But if I get 6 or 8, 10 people who are interested, I'd love to do that. And I just think that's another thing, man. Just stay connected with people. That's the best thing that I've done since I started this, was just getting involved, talking to other people like you and Matt and a bunch of other great people who are out there, and just really sharing information, because it helps everyone. The more we help each other, the more we all grow together.
I think so. I think that's exactly, because I've known Matt for a while now, and he encourages me to get stuff done, and I can give him, advice when he's doing stuff, or my thoughts on something, and he can go with them or not. And that's just the same if he offers me advice. Sometimes I go with it, and sometimes I don't, I'm leaning over here for just a moment. I got back issues, so I have to have a warmer thing in my seat. It's the true hot seat. So yeah. Let's see. Let's check out. So Barb is asking, what about including a landing page link for Blab audiences in your Blab profile? Has anybody tried that? Asked that in Udemy chat last night. So a landing page link for Blab in your Blab profile.
What would the landing page consist of?
Like, are you bringing them to your Udemy profile and then have like a coupon code or something?
Or an opt-in of some type?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Like what Mark Timberlake uses for his courses. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with her that, there's so many marketing opportunities. The link that I post, I have a PDF that I put together that has all of my contact information, including where to find me on Blab and Udemy. But I also put in some resources to Udemy links so that people have those resources. Is Matt still with us, or is his image froze?
He's froze up on my end.
Am I frozen? I'm not frozen on my end.
You're frozen. You're so frozen, dude.
I started like, as I was talking, I was looking at his image and it wasn't moving, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I thought he was doing that on purpose or something.
Can anyone else see this?
No, you're not moving.
Yeah, you're frozen, dude. Well, we can hear you. I can hear you fine.
Okay. What landing page does Mark Timberlake use on his Blab profile?
He showed like he had some kind of landing page before. I've seen some of the stuff that he's done before, which is pretty cool. But I had one of them bookmarked for quite a while, or actually up on my Chrome browser, and I just closed it earlier today. It was just to his Udemy course creation course or something like that.
I mean, I guess the main thing would be to try to capture an email. That's usually what you want to do with a landing page, correct?
Yeah. Here's what I do right here. So I have this PDF that I've created, and I update it every time that I do a blab to the name of the blab. And then at the bottom, it has a link so people can click on the replay for this blab. They can also follow me on Blab, so I have a link for that. I have where I'm at on social media, plus Blab, plus Udemy. And then I have some coupons. One, I offer them something for free, and then other courses, a really, really good discount. Matt and I talked about the $5 price point, so I have my courses at $5. And by the way, Jeremy, I did an image by myself today. My Spooktacular Savings.
I saw it. It's good.
Yeah. So,
ideas.
Yeah. Jeremy does some really cool graphics out there. And he did one for me for a Goodbye to Summer promo that I was doing. And I can't get that app on my Android phone. I know that Scott uses Android too. And I don't get it why some of those things are not on Android, because Android is more people are using that platform in the world than the iPhone operating system. I don't have anything against the iPhone. What my problem is when companies like Blab or some of these other companies release an iPhone app, but they don't release an Android app at the same time. I think you just have to do that these days, because otherwise you're missing out on a huge audience. But you can go to the Chrome browser in Android and bring up Blab. Matt, you're still there with us, right?
Yes, I am. Should I try? I'm still frozen. Should I try leaving and then rejoining?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, that you might like try that so that we see you moving around.
Yeah, I got up and got water and everything. Nobody knows.
Yeah, you should have taken that time to like maybe eat some more lunch or something.
All right, I'll be.
Okay, cool.
And then it's that, that iOS app is really cool for making those images, but there's a online software that you can do from the computer called Canva. I don't know if you've heard of it or not.
The one that you teach about?
Oh yeah, that's right. I got a couple courses on it.
Yeah, you know what? I use Pixlr for that image.
Yeah.
So when you come to a blab like this, have something like I did ready to go. So when you say Canva, that you can let people know, because I think, and I don't like using like these to like an opportunity to sell, but I think that it's an opportunity to offer these courses that are beneficial, especially your course, so that people can learn how to create these cool images to market their courses. And maybe somebody like Scott, who teaches a really cool course on Udemy SEO, could use your course to come up with some really cool images to promote his SEO course more.
Well, all I got to say is if you type Blab into any of my courses, you get a discount. So I forgot what I set up on all of them, but this is one of them. I just didn't want to promote too much in your Blab,
No, it's like, I don't care, like, as you're talking, like, just take, like I said, like a document, give them some information, like some tips on Canva or some other stuff, like saying, like that iPhone app, what's that called?
The WordSwag, the one I told you?
WordSwag. So you could put a link to WordSwag and say, check out these other things like for iPhone and for Android that are apps to make cool things like this. And here's this, and here's where to find me online. I don't see anything wrong with that. You're giving out some good free information, and you're just putting in some of those other things like, and I have a course that is normally $100, $150 or whatever, and I'm going to give it to you for $5 because you're here with us today. I do that because I offer free stuff. The people that are here today are taking time out of their day to join us, so I want to be able to offer them something. I've done on one Blab, the camera that we were going to, or that I was giving away, but I was going to give away a Blue Yeti microphone, but I decided to keep it and use it. So
probably better.
It's heavier than my laptop and bigger than my laptop.
I just want to say I got to hop off. Thanks, Dennis, for that. And anyone who didn't listen to what he just said, go back and watch this again. Because the reason I follow Dennis is because he is awesome at marketing, promoting, and advertising. So he just gets a ton of great information. Go back and listen to it. It's amazing.
I'll hit you up on Facebook so we can talk more about the affiliate marketing and also the interviews. So the book stuff. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Have a great day. Take care.
Bye.
So if you're out there and you want to do what Jeremy just did and you want to jump in for a moment, it's easy to do that. Otherwise, you can ask your question by doing a / the letter Q, a space, and then your question. I want to also remind you that you can connect with those who are with us today on Blab, like myself and Matt. So if in the future, when we have more Blabs, you get notified so that you don't miss these live. Replays are always nice to have, but I also think that it's fun joining a Blab in progress because you get to do things like ask a question. You can't do that on a replay. And then you can jump in the hot seat too. And you can also watch when Matt's image freezes and he goes out and gets a drink and other stuff while the rest of us are chatting. The other thing is that tell a little bird in the blue, if you could bring that up, click on it and type in the hashtag #live to let people know that we're still here live. I would really appreciate it if you do that. So if you have a question, again, it's / the letter Q, a space, and then your question. So let's go over to some of these questions here and see if we've missed anything.
And if anyone wants a course that I teach, then just let me know and I'll give you a free coupon for it. Thank you, Jeremy.
Is he still in here or?
He said later, everybody.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Jeremy. So choose any price point and how does the pay structure break down?
I don't think
what is the split between? So somebody asked that. What's that?
Oh, I don't know if there's been any new questions. There has.
Well, I did see one, and I just wanted to make sure that I covered that. Livestream Lee was asking, can you choose the price point? Did we answer that one? We have kind of answered. We've talked about that, and that also the pay structure breakdown, that in the document that I created has a link to revenue share. The best revenue that you can get on Udemy is when you promote it yourself. You're going to get what they say is 100% minus 3 for credit card processing fees, which I think is pretty darn good.
What if no one has a specific question? What do you want to know? What do you want to learn? What can Dennis and I teach you? What concepts? To the best of our ability.
We could do a cooking show since you're in the kitchen there.
It's 11 o'clock.
It's 11.
Let's see. I was just looking at what Barb said. She has found that most instructors don't follow their students on Udemy. Most don't have a lot of followers either. I was surprised. I don't know if Udemy really uses that feature that much anymore, where you click on follow when you bring up your students for your course. I don't think that that's really been used. I go in and I try to and it's hard to keep up sometimes. If a student is new to the course, I might welcome them to the course. And if, look, she's going to be here live, and I just saw her on Saturday night. And you have like a little studio going on there.
Oh, I just keep the green screen, or at this point blue. It's all works for me because of my Skype consultations.
Is that a clapperboard?
As you know, I'm a digital nomad from way back.
Yeah. Is that a clapperboard, Barb?
Is it what?
A clapperboard to your side there.
Oh yeah, I have. My company did video for a long time back in the last century. But today I'm celebrating having enrolled in 105 Udemy classes. And I've actually completed over 50% of them. So, and I have only been on a little over a year now. So I think I have a little bit of a background about who are really good teachers, what it takes to put a good course together. So as you know, Dennis, I'm getting ready to launch my own.
Yeah.
And the one downfall that I have found about the Udemy courses that I've taken, it's like I find these really great instructors, and then I go out on Twitter and find out that they're not there, or they have a very minimal participation level. And I thought, because I've been an entrepreneur most of my life, the one thing that really kills me about Udemy is it restricts you from communicating with each other. It's like it's all about relationships. And when you find a really good course and you say, I like the way that instructor thinks, you want to make a connection. And it's one thing about sending a message that's very private. And it's like, well, I don't really know what this person is about. But I think that what Blab did for all of us is bringing the reality into the situation. Every one of the instructors should jump on Twitter, get on Blab, and get with the program there. Because even now, you look at the followers you have on Blab, you need to build that audience. And I'm finding that there are Udemy instructors who are having tremendous success with the platform with just 30, even 14 participants in the session. Because it is all about making the connection, spreading the word, and generating the sale.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm grateful to all you guys. I've taken your courses, Matt's and Phil's, and I started with
Matt live.
Excuse me?
I was telling Matt that this is one of his students. You know, it's like I've met you in person now, but but it's not that often that you get to see, you know, a student. And I actually had somebody here in the Boise area that I told you about, the friend of mine that happened to be in Bend over the weekend with her family. And I got her to go to Crater Lake and met her downtown at the Fall Festival. Well, she introduced me to one of her friends when we met for coffee. And that guy actually had taken my course on Udemy, but also had a copy of my book. And it's like, it's a weird experience when you're like, wow, this is someone who follows me and has taken my course or has my book. And here they are right there, you know?
Well, it was a great experience for me. And I predict that we'll be friends for life at this point.
Yeah. If you go up to Spokane, then I'll have to go up to Spokane because I haven't been there in a while. But I think that you have a great point, because one of the things that I've wanted to do on Blab, and I don't know if Matt has thought about this, is offer a Blab for the students of my new course about webinars to go into more detail about that kind of stuff, on the potential of using a tool like webinars to promote yourself or your business or even Blab at some point. And the same thing with like WordPress or his eBay courses. He could do a Blab on eBay and get people to talk about his experiences. He went to school at University of Massachusetts, right? In Amherst?
Yes.
And he pretty much went the entire time with making thousands of dollars through eBay. And so he put, that was, you know what, I think that's one of your most popular courses, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely my most popular subject is eBay.
Yeah, so a Blab would be a great way for him to connect with not only his current students, but because other people can come into the Blab, potential to add more students to his course by offering a coupon. And that's the same with me or any other Udemy instructor. Like Scott Duffy is here with us. He's got a great course on Udemy SEO, and you need to take something like that because you really have to understand the dynamics of your course, how well where people are coming from. And so he could go out and teach a Blab and talk about SEO for Udemy instructors and bring in other people like maybe yourself who hasn't released your course yet, but you'll need to know about that. It's not just marketing and it's not just creating a course. There's so many other things that you have to do if you really want to be a successful instructor on Udemy.
I agree with that. And I'm so glad you mentioned Scott. I basically ran into him through the Udemy Blab yesterday. And I said, he really resonates with me. And I like what he's about. And he did happen to offer a coupon incentive to take his SEO course. I can't take it immediately. I can't, because I've got to get the damn course out, my course. So I'm trying to be in get her done mode while my son is getting ready to return to New Mexico. And as a mom, that's pretty emotional for me.
Yeah.
But I do believe, because just this morning, I think it was Mark, he had sent a educational alert that he was going to be doing a blog within Udemy every week now. And it was just an amazing post that he put together on Udemy instruction. And I thought, it's really missing an opportunity for him to connect with the students if he brought that back out to Blab where we could all discuss his post. But it's all internal to Udemy, so it's not really encouraging for engagement the way that Udemy is set up right now. I mean, it's a foolish rule that you can't put your links in to, it's like, here, when you're done, let's go study it on Udemy or let's discuss it. But it's almost like they're discouraging interaction with their students and their instructors, because I think when the student goes within the platform, they're there to be focused on education, on learning whatever that topic is. And then when they go out to the social environments, they're either going to go to Facebook or Twitter to communicate primarily. Those people need to be there and they need to be able to connect to them.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but I was also looking at the comments, and Scott has a good point that there are reasons why they have certain policies in place. And his main point is because internet marketers would abuse the relationship. And I've seen that when you become an instructor and you connect with some of these instructors, there are instructors out there that I've dealt with that I see that they're here for one thing, and they're here just to market and to earn money. It's like hit and run type thing. Their number one interest is not teaching students. Their number one interest is making. And we were talking earlier about quality versus quantity. Well, they're about quantity. I have 6 courses and I've been here for 15 months, but I see other instructors who maybe started around the same time that I did that have 20 and 30 courses, and they're not concerned about teaching as much as making money. And you were talking about building that relationship with students. the more courses that you have, when you have 30 and 40 courses, how do you maintain that relationship with your students? And so I think it's really up to the instructor to make that connection. I try to do that. I make sure that I answer anything in the course discussion, whereas where those students should technically be going to ask a question, and I answer it within a day or two most of the time. And I don't mind if people direct message me. And in my bonus lecture, I leave them other ways that they can connect with me to know that once they're done with the course, that they can still get a hold of me. What do you think about that, Matt?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily think that Udemy doesn't diminish the fact that that instructor-student relationship. The only thing that they don't allow is that if the instructor is going to post something, you can't collect the student's information. But Udemy allows me to be on Facebook, Twitter, any social media, or connect the student to my website or message me. I think all lines of communication is open as long as I'm not sending you an article to my website and forcing you to give me your email list. So I wouldn't necessarily say that the line of communication isn't open and it's Udemy's fault. I would say that, like, for instance, I'm not active on Twitter because I don't necessarily want to be. I don't find it as valuable as direct messaging students or the discussion boards. That's how I prefer to communicate with my students. And anytime somebody has a question on Udemy, whether it be the discussion board or direct message, like I'll answer it. Even if they ask me on Twitter, I'll answer it. It's just, I don't see a huge value in all social networks is why I'm not.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because it does get hard. Like, I mean, I came from a background that I wrote a book on social media. And so I have to try all of these different platforms to see how they work, including Blab. I haven't even looked at Periscope yet, but I only have so much time in my day to dedicate to what platform is going to give me maybe the most bang for my buck or whatever. And I find, like, for me, I find that Twitter and some of the other stuff that I'm doing with my websites has worked really well for me. But I find that I would really like students to use the course discussion because it allows other students to see the answer. If I'm communicating with one student and all of those other students are missing out on the discussion that we're having, and so I would rather have it out there in public. I don't mind if somebody isn't comfortable with asking that question in the discussion area. They can ask me directly. It's just like here with Blab. Some people are comfortable asking the questions off to the side, and others like yourself don't have a problem coming on and being live like this in front of everybody. So it's just, I think there's many different things to work, but to Scott's point that they have to have some kind of things in place because internet marketers would be all over it. And then what happens is people get turned off by Udemy and start leaving the platform because they don't like the experience of just constantly being marketed to. I see it all the time. You probably see it because you're in 100 courses. So if you're not turning off those email messages, you're seeing that stuff. And I see some people just put out stuff and there's no relationship building. Again, to your point, Barb, I put out something for my new course and I put a photo that I took outside of Bend in there and just said, I'm getting back from a trip over the weekend. My new course just got approved. Here it is, because you're a student of mine. Here it is for $1 for you. It's the launch. And so they're seeing what I do in my personal life with that photo, and I'm building relationships. It's not like, hey, here's my new course and it's out, so buy it now. It was more of like, hey, I'm getting back and this happened and here it is for $1. And that's worked really well because I went to bed last night at 11 o'clock and I've already seen some of the results, and they've been very very good results from that.
Great. Yeah. I don't think, and I may have been misunderstood or I didn't communicate it well. I think that the interaction in the Udemy discussion groups is great, but I'm seeing them there. I'm participating. Yeah. And what is happening is time and space. You'll see because some of the courses have been out there for quite a while. And even though the instructor has been excellent in keeping up to date, those people haven't even returned. And what that says to me, there isn't engagement and there isn't that connection. And what you fellas said about, all of the people, the internet marketers not connecting, you want to connect with your students within that environment. This is just like school in real life. There's only a certain percentage of your students that are going to connect with your teacher. There's only a certain percentage that's going to take that knowledge you've shared and do something with it. Mm-hmm. That's a percentage game. But what we have before us with this Blab environment, with a live streaming or live casting, is the ability to really reach out and touch someone that we've never had before. It's that like, well, now that Dennis is my instructor and he knows who I am, I better perform because Dennis is there. And Dennis is going to say, how are you doing, Barb? And I didn't get to that course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I agree with you there. And I even see instructors, and Matt has probably seen this too, where I've looked at some of those instructors that I said that they're in it just for the internet marketing game. I've gone back to their courses because I've enrolled, and there's been no discussion in the course discussion group. I try to, if there's no discussion, I try to get in there and create some kind of discussion. It might work, it might not work, but at least I've made the effort to go in there and connect on a fairly consistent basis so that they know that even though this course has been out since a year ago, I'm still here. I'm still monitoring this course, and I'm still here if you have questions. So, I totally get where you're coming from, but we were just kind of discussing some of the stuff. I think that it comes from both students and instructors to kind of make that connection.
Absolutely.
But Blab, I think it's a really cool platform. I want to do more of these that are not specifically Udemy question and answers, but based upon the topic of the course that I'm doing to help people do webinars, to help people market with WordPress, to talk about my experience with publishing a book on Kindle, and same thing with Matt, his experiences with eBay. So I think it's a great tool. And we talked about some of the stuff. And offline, I want to get the name of that third-party tool that we were talking about to get the different banner across here. So, and also that theme that you were talking about with the landing page, because I didn't have anything to write that down. So if you could get that to me, but yeah,
you'll have to take my course. I'm kidding.
I think that, hey, that's good marketing right there. Yeah. On that note, I got to take a sip of water. Let's see if we have some more questions over there that we can.
And I think Blab is probably one of the most effective ways to get better student engagement, because now I'm getting asked more questions than I normally do on my discussion boards with the course or anything on Twitter, or even emails when people go on my blog. So I appreciate students, and if you don't know who we are, thank you for watching and coming. Thank you, Live Streamly. I'm sure Dennis appreciates you on the Blab today, obviously. Anyone have any questions? Hey, I've been trying to ask for like the last half an hour, and nobody's been asking any more questions.
It's like Ferris Bueller. Anyone? Hey, and give Barb some props for joining us today. And
no, that's okay.
She's shared And then also at the top, we've got some people here that you can connect with on Blab and on Twitter. We're trying this at a different hour. I know that, people, not everybody, and Mark is here with us, but everybody's on different time zones. I'm now back in the Mountain Time Zone. Barb is Pacific. Matt is Eastern, but we've got people in other countries who are going to bed or waking up. And so it's just planning these around the right time. The cool thing is that you're subscribed. So you're going to get a replay as soon as we're done today. Blab is going to send you a replay so you can watch it again. And you can hear Matt talk about stomach hair or whatever he was talking about earlier. He's like, I'm going to kill you. But anyway, you can tell a little bird. You can let people know on Twitter by clicking on that and then typing in pound and the word live, and then post that to Twitter and let people know that we're here. So that's a cool thing that I like about Blab. I'm seeing some of the stuff that's going over here off to the side from Christy. I really appreciate that because that's cool. I like those images because I like to use that in marketing. But it's always funny, like I can see in that image Matt smiling, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I was going back to some of these Blabs, doing some editing on some of the video, and it seems like when it's capturing you, it's at a bad moment or something like that. So, but yeah, so thanks, Christy and the Writing Renegade for broadcasting or sharing that out. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Barbara, for sharing it out. Thanks, Lee. I'm just looking through myself, my tweet. Jeremy shared it out on Twitter. Scott did. Thank you, Scott. So yeah, so if you have a question, it's / the letter Q, a space, and then your question. We're talking about Udemy. So if you're new to Udemy or you're an instructor, maybe you want to talk about Black Friday or course creation or Udemy marketing. Matt was talking about working with co-instructors earlier. He was talking about that. We're not talking about the future. We're talking about earlier. So any of that stuff that you have questions on, we're here to talk about that kind of stuff. I also have a document, too, that has a lot of links on resources for those of you who are starting with Udemy and also those of you who are currently on Udemy. There's some great links out there that a lot of times we don't realize that are out there, like teach.udemy.com. So if you're new, that's teach.udemy.com. It's a great resource. And there's resources on co-instructors, how that works. Udemy, what is it? Their trust and safety team, right?
Yes.
There's a link for that too, because you got to know about this kind of stuff, especially with the changes that you don't want to get dinged if you do something that's against their policy. So yes, thank you for posting that. But you want to make sure that you don't get dinged for something because they call them strikes, and after 5, it's like you're out, right?
After 4, I think you're out. Right?
After 4?
Yeah, 4.
And you can
you're not going to get any strikes anyway, so nothing to worry about.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm the kind of person that's not doing something wrong on purpose, but I do it on accident, and then it's like.
Oh, actually, it is 5 because strike number 1 is strike 0. It's just a warning, so I got confused.
It's
slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I need to dash.
See you later, live stream.
Thank you all so much.
I like that. That's a good name.
Thank you, Barb.
Are you leaving, Barb?
Yeah, I'm going to leave and get something done, I hope.
When are you taking Philip to the airport?
That's what we should have is a Black Friday accountability Blab that we meet every day or every couple days or whatever to keep Barb on track.
Yeah, I need that too. We'll talk about that offline, okay?
All my instructors to help me get her done. Tomorrow. I take her to the airport tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks again, guys. I appreciate what you're sharing.
Yep. Have a great day.
You too.
You know what? This one might actually go for an hour and 30 minutes. Maybe it's just the time of the day. I mean, we had tried that before, and this is Monday, so this is the first time that we're blabbing on a Monday. But I see that we have 8 still watching, and we have we might be included in that 8. Wow,
we are included in that 8.
We had up to
watching though. We are watching.
Yeah, you know, it's like I just trying like a different time or whatever. The ones in the afternoon seem to have more people, and they go much longer. I mean, we've been on Blabs for 3 hours because I've gone through and edited some of those and have to break them into 15-minute chunks. And there's many 15-minute chunks because it went so long on the chat. So let's see. Let me go to the questions here.
There's nothing new. So I think we either, there's only 6 of us now, but I think we either need to,
here's a question that we might have not answered. What is the entry fees or qualifications to create a course? There is no entry fee to have a course on Udemy. All you need to do is just set up an account and start creating a course and going to that teach.udemy course. Qualifications to create a course will be, I would say, being an expert in your subject matter. And to me, an expert is just knowing a little bit more than the next person. What do you think as far as the qualifications to create a course?
Well, qualifications is exactly what you said. And if you don't know what you're talking about, then you're going to be chewed out by Udemy students. They're going to rate your course they're not going to rate your course well. They have all these student satisfaction analytics. So, and then therefore Udemy is going to take a look at all these analytics and they're going to say, you know what, your course isn't of quality for our marketplace. Like, we're either going to put you on the low end of the search. They're not going to promote it, or they might even take your course off the marketplace. So if you're not qualified, if you're not adding value to your students, they're going to eventually find out.
Yeah, that's, excuse me. Wow.
And you said, I think she said her courses would be something about creating live content. So I'm assuming that you already know how to create the content then. So, I mean, I just bought a Blue Yeti microphone for like $100 and Camtasia Studio 8 for like $150, because Udemy instructors, they get 50% off of Camtasia Studio software. So I would recommend doing that. And so those are like that. So that to me is the entry fee, is how much it costs for you to create your courses.
Yeah. And you don't even have to, like, as far as if you're using a PC, it's the Camtasia Studio. If you're using a Mac, it's Camtasia 2. And there's less features in it, but it still works well. There are other tools out there on each of those platforms that you can record courses, and you can do screen captures. Like through Chrome, I use one called Screencastify sometimes to do that, but I've mostly moved to learning Camtasia more. You can get a demo copy for 30 days of that. So, and a microphone. I've got one. I'm using the Blue Yeti, which Matt was saying he got it for $100. I got one at Best Buy with a coupon for about $110. But I also have a Samsung Meteor, not the phone company, Samsung Meteor mic is what it's called, and that was at Best Buy for about $60. They have one called the Go mic that's even less than that. That seems to work well for a lot of instructors. I don't think I would use the internal mic on a PC or a Mac, but you could do that. Maybe start doing some YouTube videos to get started and just kind of get yourself out there. Before I started Udemy, I already created courses that I uploaded to YouTube and put as private. And then I use lead pages, that's one of the reasons why I talk about webinars with lead pages in my new course, is because I was using it to create an online course before I even came across Udemy last year in July. So I'm not even really promoting that online course on my website anymore, because I find that it's easier for me to get people through Udemy because they already have the traffic. They've got over 8 million students. and it's growing. I haven't seen new numbers lately from them, but the CEO was just on Bloomberg last week talking about Udemy. That's excellent marketing, getting Udemy out there to other people. So
I think the next time we'll hear an update on this. The amount of students they'll have 9 million.
I'm going to guess it's going to be above 10 million students, because it's been a while since they've updated that.
Really?
And I had seen somebody had posted something in the studio that they had a way to see how many new students were coming to Udemy, and that the talk was like 1 to 2 million a month right now for the growth. And now you've got one competitor, Skillfeed, out of the way. I mean, I think their biggest competitor would probably be lynda.com, don't you think?
Yeah, I think Lynda is actually more popular than Udemy. And for Skillfeed, I don't think they had many students on there.
Yeah, but it's still like, I mean, some of those other sources, you have your courses on there, don't you?
Yeah, I still have them on there because Skillfeed hasn't taken themselves off of the internet.
Oh, you're talking about Skillfeed. Okay, I was thinking Skillshare.
Well, but Skillshare still exists. I thought you were saying because Skillfeed doesn't exist anymore than Udemy in theory.
Yeah, but I was asking. I probably confusion of the two being so similar in name, that you have courses, instructors like you and Rob and myself. I had my courses on Skillfeed, but you can also do Skillshare and make additional revenue off of those other sources, including your own website if you wanted to. There's also Fedora is one that Dave Espino talks about a lot. And it's, I believe, usefedora.com is where you can go. And if you have Udemy courses, I believe that Fedora actually will take your course. You put in the URL and it'll pull all of that information into Fedora. Do you know what that costs, like Fedora costs for somebody to use that service?
So it's free if you do you can have like your own website. So mine's skillhance.fedora.com. That's free. And then they just take a commission. If you want just skillhance.com, you have to pay $29 a month for hosting fees, but they offer you a lot of different apps that just make it easier for like plugins like WordPress. So if anyone's familiar with making a WordPress blog, this will actually maybe even make it easier for you to design and host your own video courses on Fedora. And you can also have the ability to enroll students, and then you'll have the ability to email students in a mass email list. So that's included in the $29 a month, or there's different tiers, but $29 a month is the cheapest if you want your own.
What are you using? Are you using the...
I'm using WordPress right now for my skillhance.com website. I'm having a little trouble with actually designing a great website, and it's almost impossible for me to figure out how to host my videos on there and having the design be student friendly and engage learning. So Fedora's design is very, very simple to at least host your videos on there. So I'm maybe thinking that I can have a WordPress blog and then integrate Fedora in that. Or I'm thinking of just using Fedora. But at the moment, I have a free Fedora website, skillhance.usefedora.com, and I'm just playing around with the platform because it's very new and it seems like it's a good platform.
Yeah, I should probably, that I have, like, since I have 6 courses out, it's probably something that I should do. Just like start pulling it into a website and seeing if I can generate some income from traffic. Because like we were talking earlier, Udemy has 8 million students and it continues to grow, but you have to think of how many people are on the internet and how many of those people are doing searches for your topic that you might be teaching, like eBay or WordPress or webinars. And when they type in something like webinar marketing, Udemy, your course on Udemy might not come up as the top result. And so these other sites that are out there, or your own website, if you've got it optimized, maybe somebody will pull up that website instead, which will get them to your course there, or even to Udemy. I was talking last week about course coupons, which we really haven't talked about today. The ability to share coupons to discount your course. So you've got your regular price on Udemy, and then you can create as many coupons as you want and give them a name, and they've got your course name. You know, if you name your course correctly and use the right URL, like my new course is actually titled how to broadcast a webinar to promote yourself to the world. But the URL that I chose for that is webinar marketing, because I wanted that as the key words. So hopefully over the course of time, it's going to get optimized on udemy.com and also Google. And I shared with Matt last night, he was probably already in bed, but I had told him that the course only went live Sunday. I believe Sunday morning before I left Ben, I checked, or actually I got an email as I was driving, and I noticed I wasn't looking at my email when I was driving, but when I was pulled over, I checked it, and it said that the course was live now. And last night, I actually had an organic sell. So that means that not by coupon, it was somebody searching for webinar courses on Udemy, and I already had a sell through Udemy's promotion. And so, I mean, it's important to make sure that you're not only on Udemy, but you're on some of these sites like Matt was talking about, Fedora, and we've talked about Skillshare, and also these coupon sites that are out there. And actually, Matt and I put together a document, and Matt helped me with some of these websites that are out there. Excuse me, my voice is getting raspy. For those of you that are still here right now, there's a link right there to course marketing. It's a course marketing checklist. It's a list of several different places that you can go out online and promote your course with a coupon.
Okay, and continuing with the discussion that Dennis was saying that Udemy is a marketplace, which would mean, and it has an existing
feedback. I'm getting feedback from you. You sound like a robot. That was weird.
All right, well, mute your mic and see what happens.
No, now you came back. It's on your end. I think it's the Blab for some reason. That was weird. Go ahead, talk.
No, I feel like it's always me having the feedback.
It's Boston.
I heard myself in the background when. Okay, so anyways, I don't hear myself anymore. So Udemy is an existing marketplace currently with 8 million students. So an instructor's job would most likely get the more market share you have, the more sales you're going to be getting. And the way that you're going to be able to get more market share is that in a marketplace as of Udemy is students want and they need a better performance out of you, the Udemy instructor. So that means more social proof, more positive reviews. You need more students to get that market share, which could mean more content. It most likely means better content, which would be seen through the reviews. But people also look at, oh, hey, there's 10 hours in this course, or there's 5 hours in this course, or there's only 1 hour in this course and it's the same price. Most likely people are going to take the course that has the more content available in it. It also means having a better sales video, having a better course content, which we just said, and having better instructor response, which means, hey, it only takes me maybe 24 hours to respond to questions in the course. And this other instructor might not even have answers to any of his discussions and doesn't have any student support. So Udemy looks at that. Udemy looks at to see how long it takes an instructor to respond to student questions and other statistics. And it's just the better performance that you have as an instructor, the more likely you're going to get more student share in the Udemy platform.
I'm on mute right there. My voice for some reason is just starting to get raspy. I think it's because I've been gone for 2 weeks. I've been in a different environment on the coast in Seattle where it's more moisture in the air. And then when I got back last night, I started coughing because it's, even though it's October, it's still pretty warm here in southern Idaho. And sagebrush is huge here. And I get allergic to that kind of stuff. And so it only took me a few hours to have that stuff make me cough again. I want to just say welcome to those who are just joining us. And if you have a question, a / the letter Q, a space in your question will actually flag it so that we can see it as a question. We're talking about Udemy Q&A. I'm Dennis Smith, and I'm here with Udemy instructor Matt Bernstein. What did I say something wrong?
I feel like you can't say we're talking about a
Q&A. What?
You said we're talking about a Q&A. I don't know. I feel like it's not like a thing.
Did I say that? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're taking questions and answers here with Udemy instructors and those of you who might be new to the platform. And maybe I misspoke. I don't know. But I can edit it out later. So we're broadcasting live. I'm near Boise, Idaho, and Matt is in Boston. And we've got a few people here with us still. We do this on Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific and noon Pacific, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 1 p.m. Pacific time and 4 o'clock on.
Yeah, I was right.
I'm
not even having beer. What's that?
I'm getting a lot of feedback here.
Yeah, I can still hear you. So that's Udemy Roundtable. It's just we have some other Udemy instructors join us. Phil Ebener, who has earned the last couple of months more than 11,000 each month. I almost said 11 million. That would be really cool.
Who's our guest?
Phil's going to be joining us, and I've asked Dave Espino to join us, but guess what? It's his birthday on a Thursday. Wonder who else had a birthday on a Thursday? I don't even know what day my birthday falls on this year. No, my birthday isn't even this year. It's next year. I've already had my birthday this year.
Oh, gosh.
Let's see. I'm just curious what day now we're talking about. So Dave might join us. I think Dave will probably end up joining us, even though it's his birthday. He likes Blab so much. He's created a couple of courses already on Blab. My birthday falls on a Monday next year. So yeah, today. Let's see. Yeah, nice drag and drop for both desktop and mobile. Is he talking about Fedora?
Wix.
Oh, Wix.com?
Correct.
Yeah, there are, we talked about that on our Blab the other day when we were talking about ways to market your Udemy course other than, coupons and stuff like that. And so we talked about websites, and one of the things that came up was Wix, even though I use WordPress. And there is the WordPress free from WordPress.com. Matt and I use self-hosted WordPress, but Wix.com and Squarespace are two of the many tools out there to create a website quickly, a nice-looking website. So, I always recommend that a Udemy instructor needs to have a website. So regardless if it's WordPress, try some of those other platforms like Wix and Squarespace to get online quickly and affordably.
All right. Do you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, that's cool. I keep laughing and I'm like, am I screwing up? So yeah.
No, it's just hard because I feel like Christy's probably just being nice and just has the screen up. Like she's probably not here.
She fell asleep on us.
So I don't know. And people, I don't know.
No, we're an hour and 45 minutes into that. That's fine because, the replay is going to be available. So if you're just joining us, you'll get the replay emailed to you, so you can start from the very beginning when we had more people with us and Jeremy was here with us. Here, let's let Steve. You want to let Steve jump in real quick with us?
Okay. I mean, I'm probably going to go eat lunch, so you guys can keep talking. Unless he has does he have a question, or does he have advice to offer?
Well, let's see. And then we can close down the shop.
I just feel like there's not much student engagement right now. So
yeah, see, it's taking him forever to come in. So I think it's Blab might be having some issues this morning with connecting.
Yeah, I also keep hearing myself.
Hey Matt, where can people find you online?
On Udemy, people can just type in my name.
You don't want them going to your website yet?
No.
Okay, so you can find by typing in Matt Bernstein. You can find him on Udemy. You can find me at DennisJSmith.com, and you can check out onlinecoursecoupons.com and onebuckcourses.com if you're looking for some great deals on Udemy courses, or if you're an instructor and you want a place to market your courses, make sure that you check out those websites. And we'll just go ahead and call it a day then.
Yeah, I couldn't even give my courses away for free during this. I gave a link and I said, if anyone wants a course, let me know. And I'd give a free course. No one wanted it.
Well, give them out for $1 next time then, okay?
I did that last time. No, you can't give this stuff away.
Yeah. All right, let's just go ahead and check out. Later.
Edit that part out. But I'll see
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
All right, see you.
Take care. Don't forget to